Timing is everything, and that can be said for the markets right now. Clinton has more in today's analysis with Mike North.
We caught up with Mike North with EverAg again today. Mike, as we talk about what's been going on in these grain markets, obviously there's a lot of fundamental factors out there that we're watching, from the Ukraine to drought and dryness. We have spring planting, plus we have all of the input costs and issues going on. How does that set us up for a conversation to move through April and May this year?
Well, I think, when we talk about the dry weather element of it, if that were to linger into spring, that certainly actually helps us get seed in the ground. If you go back to 2019, you can remember that, the wetness of that spring was a big concern. So if we carry dry weather forward, that's actually not necessarily a bad thing going through that initial part of planting. But it certainly lingers out there as a question of, what does that mean to my final yield? And that will be held as we go forward. And I think as we get deeper into summer, that has its own impact on the market. But I think up front, the bigger questions right now are, what does the market do with this Ukrainian story? Is that going to linger, or is this going to be over soon? I think day by day we're growing more comfortable with the fact that this is going to be an ongoing issue for quite some time, and that's going to be relatively price supportive to the markets, especially when we talk wheat and corn. But bottom line is, as we look at the road ahead, I think the thing we have to come to terms with is that in every discussion, because everything you named is mostly supply oriented, there's a demand side to this balance sheet that also has to be weighed out. And when we talk about what's going on with the broader economies, just not here but around the world, there's some concerns going forward with regard to inflation and overall economic prosperity. What does that mean to the demand side of the balance sheet, and how does that temper these supply concerns? So, as we're talking with producers, we're trying to make sure that we're going after the risk that's involved whenever you get to these elevated of prices, and making sure that we've got some floors in place and ready to take on any opportunities that show up later.
Yeah, I like your opportunities being the word there as we look forward to 2022. It sure is stacking up to be an interesting year. Sure appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back with more Ag Day coming up in just a minute.
To contact Mike, visit www.ever.ag or give him a call at 608-518-3106.